Hello, hello, hello. You're welcome. This is the FOOTY podcast. We've not done one in a minute. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, share. This is the FOOTY podcast. And yeah, we're just gonna be looking at the season, end of the season report card for all the teams. Final games have been played, and we are just going to be looking at how every of the Premier League teams, 20 teams in the league, how they all did. Um, and am I going to be looking at my predictions? I can't even remember. Did I do a prediction? But we can do that later. But today, this is the Foodie Mad podcast. We've not done one in a while. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. You're welcome. And let's get straight into it. There's a bit of a light on my head, but don't worry about that light. It's just the way the place is. They just really lights everywhere. So we're just gonna get cracking. Yeah. So on the agenda today, we're gonna be looking at the Spurs wins, Palace as well as Spurs, big Spurs fans. Gonna be talking about that Europa League win. Gonna be talking about Tottenham season so far, and Tottenham season as it is. Also, I'm gonna be naming my team of the season. I'm gonna name my team of the season as well. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see the team I pick for my team of the season. And yeah, we're just gonna be doing loads of stuff as well. So just interesting topic, man. Just before we crack on, there's breaking news and the press that there's been like a collision in Liverpool where they were doing the parade for Liverpool, winning the Premier League, and and there's been like an accident. Some people don't know if it's an accident. No news here. We're not going to speculate. But there's been a collision between a car and pedestrians, and just gonna say our regards go out to the people involved. Hopefully, everybody is not. Hopefully, everybody's okay and no serious injuries. So let's get straight into it. This is the 6 hour box, the Footy Mad podcast. Let's get cracking. I think the first thing we're gonna do is to look at the Premier League. The Premier League table is finished now. The league is done, and basically it has been a very interesting. It's been a very interesting. What do you call it? Let me just check. I'm gonna change the channel. I don't want to be showing something on the screen. Yeah, this is pretty on a different channel. So yeah, it's been one of those whereby a league whereby it has been very interesting, very entertaining. I think coming into the league, everyone was thinking it's gonna be Arsenal, it's gonna be City. That's what everybody was thinking. To be honest, I think it must be. Yeah, if you don't think Arsenal past City or a City, you must be from another planet. Coming into this league, this season, you got Tottenham, you have all the normal teams in there, but City, Arsenal were the two that people were like expecting to go on and lift the trophy. And yeah, it was a very interesting season. I think one thing about this season is there's been uh, loads of injuries. There's been teams with big injuries. This season. If we're gonna check, if we're gonna check, uh, if we're gonna check this season so far, let's just check the injuries this season. Uh, let's just go and check the injuries this season. Injuries, injuries Premier League. Just check injuries Premier League. Injury EPL Premier League injury table. Let's say. So let's see the number of injuries. So we've got it the injuries table in the Premier League. This is as at the last day of the Premier League, and you know, I think this one is not even correct. Let's just see. Okay, this season 23-24, no one. Premier League injuries and suspension. Premier League injury table 24-25. That's what I need. So Premier League injury table 24, season 24, season 25. Let's just see the Premier League. So in total in the Premier League this season, we've had over 280 injuries that have been suffered so far in the Premier League this season. But which team has suffered the most? So Premier League injury tables are light, blah 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 blah. So we can see the injury table list there. In position number 1, Arsenal came first in the injury table. At least they can claim the cup for that one. They've got 27 injuries in 2024, 25. Brighton was second with 22 injuries. Tottenham were third with 22 injuries as well. And then you have Villa with 21 injuries. And then you got Manchester United with 20, then Ipswich, then you got Man City. The team with the less injuries, West Ham with 6 injuries in the Premier League. If you look at the number of injuries, and we go look at the in the positions as well, where the injuries the players with the injuries. I think that's one of the biggest things that stand out this season, just the number of injuries sustained by players, which is really, really crazy. I think something needs to be done, to be honest. I don't know where there's so many injuries this season. Maybe the new format of the Champions League, somebody was saying, because it's a new format for the Champions League now, and instead of the normal group stages, now it's like a league based of all the teams in the Champions League and in the Europa League as well playing each other. Maybe that's the reason why, but this season it's been shocking, the number of injuries, and that's something that the Premier League needs to look at in terms of going forward as well. Needs to find a way to help these teams in terms of injuries and getting over the line and all that kind of stuff. Because we want to see the best quality of football, that's what we want to see. You want to see teams playing their strongest teams. But if you have situations whereby teams can't play, teams can't play with their full, with their first team most of the time. I know there's injuries every time, but you need to be able to play your first team most of the time.
A bit of goal difference.
And you need to be able to rotate as well. 22-man squad, you need to be able to rotate and bring players in, bring players out every single time. And that's what it is all about, to be honest. That's what it is all about. So for me, I think the Premier League has to do a little bit more to help the teams out. So let's go on to some of the stuff that happened in this season. Let me go back. Let me just try and refresh my brain. I think in terms of one of the most iconic games in the Premier League this season, as a Tottenham fan, I'm going to look at the game at City. No, is it the game? Yeah, the game at City where we played City away from home. I think that game was around December. I'm not sure. Where Tottenham really, really, put City to the score. I remember that day. I think I was going to the shops that day, and Tottenham got the win, got the victory. I think it was 2-0 at half time, and I was saying, this game is not going to end 2-0. I think City were going to score, but City just went on, scored a couple more goals. Tottenham just went on, scored a couple of more goals, and they were missing players as well. So that was one of the memorable games of the season in terms of Tottenham. In terms of the whole league, which one was one of the toughest memorable games that I can think of? I think the Liverpool City game. That's always very big games that you remember. I also remember the Arsenal game at home against City where they beat City 5-1. That was a big victory for Arsenal. I never expected that result. What else? In terms of games, I think the Tottenham home game 4-1 against Villa. That one was a game. Was that this season or last season? I can't even remember. I think it was this season. That one was a surprise in terms of some of the big games of this season. Some of the other games as well. I think Fulham at home, where Brentford came from a goal down. Where Fulham came from a goal down or 2 goals down to win. With what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name that scored the winning goal. I can't remember his name now. He scored the winning goal as well. And so what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna quickly use my phone and look at some of the highlights of I'm gonna look at some of the highlights of season 24-25. Okay, so I'm going to look at some of the highlights which are going to be the best goals of season 24-25. So yeah, let's just look at that, and I'm gonna comment on it. Best goals season 24-25 in the Premier League, and so let's just look at that. I'm gonna look at that. I'm not gonna be able to show you. I'm just gonna look at it on my phone, and I'm just gonna comment on it. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, that's the game I was talking about. Yves Bissouma against Villa. Yeah, this one too. This is Palace. This is Chelsea. Cole Palmer as well against. I can't remember who they played there. That's a good goal from Jean-Claude Bellegarde from Wolves. Yeah, I remember this goal. I remember this one. I remember this goal. John, what's his name? The guy that left Aston Villa to go to the Saudi League. Harvey Barnes as well. Harvey Barnes against Wolves. That's a good cracking goal. Yeah, I remember this one against Tottenham. Brian Mbeumo with a cracking finish. Yeah, I remember this one. This was the 2-2 Arsenal versus. That was the 2-2 Arsenal versus Man City away from home. 2-2. Calafiori with a cracking shot from outside the box. What a goal! And this is Cole Palmer. This one is Cole Palmer versus Wolves. Just bends into the corner. Yeah, that was a cracking goal as well. Then McNeil with a cracking goal there for Everton as well. What a finish, man. That's sweet. I remember that game, Arsenal versus Leicester. Leicester were leading that game going into the last couple of minutes. I think Leicester were leading, and James Justin or whatever his name is cracked one in from outside the box, and it just flew into the back of the net. That's some of the best goals, highlights of 2023, 24-25. That's a good goal. Pereira for Fulham against City.
Goes with a different corner, and it's lashed in by
Christie
Christie.
against City away from him at Bournemouth. That's a good goal as well. Just trying to look back on the season gone. Guardiola for City scoring with his right foot, which is something that see regularly. Players scoring with their wicked foot. That's a good goal as well. This is the Footy Mad. If you're new to the channel, please. This is 6-yard box. This is the Footy Mad podcast. End of the season report, and also we are looking at. I'm going to be naming my team of the season. Also, I'm going to be looking back on that Spurs win in the Europa League as a Spurs fan. We're going to be talking about everything in the Premier League as well, and or everything this season in terms of the season as a whole. Right now, I'm just looking back on goals, best goals of 2024-25.
It's an absolute beauty. I'm going to get it out as far as Gusto. Palmer, degree of composure.
What a pass from Palmer. That pass is the pass of the season. Neto Jackson. It's a good team goal, that one. Good team goal. But the key there for that goal is Palmer's pass. I think that's the pass of the season for me. What a pass from Palmer.
Palmer, the architect. More than a helping hand from Neto. And Jackson, the executioner.
This is Leif Davis. Good finish from Leif Davis. This one is Potts. What's his name? Ipswich playing against. Who are they playing there? I don't even know who they're playing there. Can't remember what team they're playing there. This is Brighton against Liverpool. I remember this game. I think Brighton were leading before Salah came to the rescue with a sumptuous finish from outside the box. You know what he's gonna do, but you can't stop it. Yeah, I remember this one. Cracking one in for Forest. That was a cracking goal. What a goal there. That's another good goal there. That's a good goal. What a finish. What a finish there. Just looking at all the highlights of the goals from last season. I remember this game. Harry Wilson, that's the one. Harry Wilson scoring against Brentford at home. Fulham coming from a goal down to win. Alexander Garnacho from Manchester City. The finish. That one, that's against Leicester. I remember that game. That's against Leicester for Manchester United. Garnacho with a beautiful finish there. Alex Iwobi. This one was a couple of weeks ago. What a finish. And his weak feet as well. He just bent one into the corner. What a finish from Garnacho, from Alex Iwobi. In the same game, and in the same game, Kuna scored in a cracking goal as well. Lots of good goals in the season. Emerson against I can't remember who this was in September. Emerson with a free kick, bends one into the top corner. Those are the highlights of best goals of 2020-24 season 24-25. For me, the goal I'm gonna pick, it's going to be between the Marmoush goal for City against I think it was must have been Bournemouth a couple of weeks, just last week, and then. But the goal that wins it for me, my goal of the season will be. I'm coming. Hold on a minute. Let me just change my. Yeah, let's change my. I need to change my camera. I'm gonna be back. I need to get. What do you call it? I need to get some. Hold on a minute. I need to get what am I doing? I'll need to get the battery for the charger. I'm gonna be back in about 5-10 minutes. Just bear with me. This is the FOOTY podcast. So welcome back. We're back, and this is the FOOTY podcast. Just look at the season gone. So what we're gonna do next now? We looked at the injuries this season, goals of the season. I was gonna pick my goal of the season. I think my goal of the season will be that cracker from Mitoma. That's the game against Chelsea. The ball was cleared from the back. It was a long ball over the top. The first touch was just sublime to bring it down. Second touch was to give himself an angle, and the last touch was just a beautiful finish. It was all like in a one, what do you call it, synchronized move from Mitoma. It was a cracking goal, and that's my goal of the season. I was gonna pick the Mamouche goal as well, but that one was something different. It was just you smashing the ball, but this one was just was just different in terms of the touch, the touch to set it up, and then the beautiful finish. So Mamouche will have to be my second best goal of the season, but my number one goal of the season is Mitoma against Chelsea. This is the FOOTY podcast. We are still looking at the season so far. So the season so far, we are looking at the season so far in the Premier League. Just gone season 26, season 24-25. So what we're gonna do right now is to look at the Premier League table. That's what we're gonna look at so far. We're just gonna look at the Premier League table for this season. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna look at the Premier League table for the last game of the season. That's what we're gonna do. So let's just do that. We look at the game of the season. So yeah, let's look at the last game of the season. Let's look at the Premier League table for this season and see what how the season finish, and then we're gonna do our what do you call it? We're gonna do our gonna look at this. We're gonna do the report card, and then we're gonna do the team of the season. So let me just we're gonna take a little bit of a break. Gonna be back in about 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna do the team of the season. So we're gonna take a little bit of a 10 minutes break. Gonna be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. This is the FOOTY podcast. Make sure you stay locked. We're gonna be back very soon. Hello, welcome to the 6 yard box. Welcome back. Apologies for that. We had to have a little bit of a break. This is the end of the season. This is the Footy Mart. This is the Footy Mart podcast. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, share. Let's get straight into the. We've seen the goals of the season in 24-25. The best goals. I picked my goal. My goal was the goal scored by Mitoma of Brighton. The goal was scored against Chelsea in the league. I think it was in December sometime. So let's get straight into my team of the season. I picked my team of the season based on what I think. I had to change it a couple of times. So let's get cracking. Let's get straight into the team of the season. That's my team of the season there on the right. You can see it on the left hand side of the screen. Team of the season. And this team is based around, I didn't watch most of the teams playing their games, but some of the players, I watched them against my team and against what they did in the season and all that kind of stuff. And I picked my team of the season. I'm going to be playing a 4-2-3-1 just to make it a little bit more compact. And that's the team I'm going to be playing. And 4-2-3-1. The team was based around me, just the kind of players I like. There's one player I wanted to squeeze in, but I just couldn't find somewhere to put him in, and that is Carlos Baleba. Carlos Baleba, he plays for Brighton. I couldn't put him into this lineup. I put him in there, but I had to change him, and I had to put in Gravenberch of Liverpool. So I'm going to go through my team. In goal is Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper. I think he was solid. He made some incredible saves for Liverpool during the season. He was steady. He was solid at the back as well. And I think he played. What do you call it? I think he was pivotal. That's the word I was looking for in Liverpool's season. He's been there for a while now. This is the second league title for Liverpool. And you must have a good goalkeeper if you're going to win loads of games of football. You need your goalkeepers to be. You need your goalkeepers to be there to make those big changes. So Carlos Baleba has to be the guy for me. And he was instrumental, and he was the key basically, for Liverpool's victory. Another player that's going to pick is always Trent. Trent is a very, 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 very good player. He's he's been at Liverpool for a while now. This is his second. I don't know how many seasons he's been there. It's a bit of a controversy. Trent Alexander-Arnold is the guy, and he's, for me, you can't replace that kind of a player in the team. Liverpool are going to struggle to replace him. They're not going to be able to. They're going to sign. They're going after Frimpong, and hopefully he can do a job for them. But this one is going to be tough for Liverpool to replace. He's a very good player. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Assist-wise, if you look at his numbers for this season, it's gonna be crazy, I must say. Let's just look at his stats. Just for this season 24-25, for TAA, Trent Alexander-Arnold, 33 matches played, 3 goals, 6 assists, 5 yellow cards. He's got no red card. I thought his assist was going to be more than that, actually. I thought it was going to be more than that in terms of assists. But he's key to the way Liverpool play, so I'm going to put him on my right back. My centre back is going to be Romero. I think Romero was he was pivotal in Tottenham's Europa League campaign. My team of the season comprises the league and Champions League and Europa League, everything, and I think he was very, very pivotal for Tottenham in terms of going all the way to winning the Europa League. He was out injured in the Premier League, missed a lot of games. Um, I think when on his day, he's just solid. Tottenham manager has spoken about him as well. He has to be a player that we have to keep, and I think he's just incredible for Tottenham. He has to play, and yeah, he was key for Tottenham. I'm gonna put him in the centre back position alongside Saliba of Arsenal. I think I was gonna pick was his partner as well, but he's been out injured as well. So he's good as well. I think it could have been any one of them. I had to put a Tottenham player. That's why I picked it. Romero, Saliba as well. William Saliba. He's been solid. He's very very good. Although he's one, he makes a couple of mistakes sometimes, but most players make mistakes. I think he's been really really good. He's going to partner Romero in the centre back position. Then I've got Kerkez, the shot, the stocky left back for Bournemouth. I think I saw him first time when they played at Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He put in a beautiful cross into the box, man, and the finish from Clivert were just impeccable. This guy is a top player. I think there have been rumours that Liverpool want him as well to replace Robinson. If they could get him in and Frimpong, that's a good back five for Liverpool. There's another player I forgot to pick actually, and I forgot to pick him. That's Van Dijk. I think I should have put him in there instead of Romero. But yeah, I think he's one of them. Or yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with my first 11. I think Van Dijk has been around the block. He must have been in the team of the season in different seasons. So I think this time around I'm gonna excuse him. But I wouldn't. If somebody replaces him with Romero, it wouldn't be questions. There won't be questions from me. I think he deserves to be in the team. But this is my team of the season. Kerkez left back for Brighton, very very good going forward defensively as well. Puts the ball on a plate. He's just built like a rock, man. He goes up and down those flanks, and he's just a top player. I'm gonna put Declan Rice in the two in midfield. Declan Rice and Gravenberch of Liverpool. Declan Rice first as a Tottenham fan. I don't like Arsenal, but you gotta put your hand up. The guy has been superb this season, scoring goals. I think those goals against what do you call it, Real Madrid in Champions League as well. In the league, scores in 7, 8 out of 10 most games as well. He's been superb this season, taking his game to another level. Declan Rice, and he's a very very good player. Alongside him, I'm going to play Gravenberch in midfield with him. He's a very good player as well. He was on the bench. I think last season he didn't play much for Liverpool. He was coming off the bench in cameo roles. This season he stepped it up into the team. That shows like when new manager comes in, players that have been left behind before, they can thrive under a new manager. And that's what he's done. He's coming into this team and he just grabbed it by the ball, and he's just been fantastic. I tell you, the way he presses the ball, see him first stand. When he presses the ball, is unbelievable, to be honest. He presses the ball really high, Gravenberch in midfield, and he's so good in terms of pressing transitions as well. He carries the ball. The whole idea of when you carry the ball as a midfielder, the whole idea, somebody's a top midfielder is like in transition, when you win that ball back, you carry it forward. You don't just pass it sideways or backwards. And this is what Gravenberch, that's what he gives Liverpool. Him and McAllister, I'll put McAllister in there as well. But, I've got to pick Declan Rice. So Gravenberch goes in midfield alongside Declan Rice for me in my team of the season. Also, looking forward and going forward, in the front lines. This one was tough. It was tough because I was chopping and changing. I even put Ireland in there, then I took him out because I forgot all about Salah. So I'm gonna go with on the right. Mbuemo would play on the right for me, and I think he's got 20 goals this season. He's got his last 20th goal. I think it was yesterday. He's got to play on the right for me. He's just very, very good. End product. That's what you want your winger to do. You know, if your winger is scoring about 20 goals or double figures, that's his job done. This guy can do everything. He can finish, can hold up the ball. He's strong. I think he can play as a 10 as well. He's very, very good. He just runs riot. Him and Wissa. I think Wissa could have been in the team as well, but I couldn't get rid of Salah. But I think in Buemo is just a top player, and I hope Tottenham can get him. Also, a player I want to mention is Carlos Baleba. I think I've mentioned him already. I think he's a good player as well, and I was thinking of putting him in my team of the season as well. But Gravenberch and Rice, I think they topped. They basically, I think they've got the numbers ahead of him. So yeah. Going on into that number 10 role, this is Bruno Fernandes. This is a player that I've liked a lot. He was linked to Tottenham before going to Manchester United, and he carries United basically. This guy is just really, really good. Delivery, finish. I don't know how many goals he's got this season, maybe 15 plus, and assist and all that kind of stuff. His numbers are high. I don't even need to look at it. So he's the guy in there for me. Very, very good. Very good finish with his finish as well. He never lets you down in most games, and when he does, the fans gets on his back. So I think he's a good player, very, very good, and he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. He's somebody that you need in your team as Manchester United. I think without him, they would have been really struggling, and he plays in my number 10. On the left hand side, I'm going to put Cole Palmer. Different season to last, but he's still got numbers. I think he's got good figures as well to show for him. When he plays, he's on top of it. He's very, very good. Drifts in and out of games. His passing is just incredible. This guy's got mirrors everywhere. You can see 2020 vision basically. And they need to find a striker for him. And if Chelsea can get a striker in, this guy is going to be one hell of a player. And the striker is really going to enjoy playing alongside him. And he's still young as well. I think he's about 22. So Cole Palmer gets into my team of the season. And then my striker is going to be Salah. This team is going to play basically without a striker, false nine, causing chaos everywhere. And I think Salah, his numbers is there to show. This guy is a finisher. He's been doing it in this league for God knows how long, and he's a top player. He deserves it, to be honest. And he's only going to get better. He signed a new contract at Liverpool as well. So everybody praying that he disappears. I think they need to be praying a lot more. But he's a cracking player. So that's my team of the season. So let me go through my team again. In goal, we got Alisson, got right back Trent Alexander-Arnold, Coutinho Romero, and William Saliba at the centre backs. Left back is Kerkez from Bournemouth. In midfield, I've got Rice and Gravenberch in my midfield. And then going forward, I've got Bournemouth on the right, Fernandes playing through the middle, Palmer on the right, Mbeumo on the right, Fernandes playing through the middle as a 10, Palmer on the left, and then my striker is Mohamed Salah. So that's my team of the week, team of the season, sorry. And that's the way I look at him, man. That team is good. I think they'll give anybody a game in the season. So this is the Footy Mart podcast. If you're new, end of the season 2025, this is the end of the season report. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go and look at the Premier League table, and then I'm going to give my grades to all the teams in the Premier League. So that's what we are going to do now. Let's go. Let me look at the league table. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at the league table, and because at the end of the day is where you finish. At the end of the day, not where people think you should finish, not where you think you should finish. Not midway. This is the end of the season. There's no more games. This is the end of the season. So yeah, let's just let's look at the end of the season report card, and let's see where the teams are finished in the table, because that's how we're going to judge really how well you've done as against your expectations. So let's just look at it. Let's look at it. So yeah, the Premier League table is as follows. Premier League table is as follows. Premier League table. Let's look at the final table, because I can't remember what the table looks like. Let's look at the table, and then I'm gonna giving out my end of the season grades for the teams, because whatever you do during the season makes no difference. It's what you do at the end of the season that really counts. And let's look at the final table. So the final table goes. Let's grade our teams. So coming into the season, the expectations are Arsenal and Manchester City are supposed to be champions, as fighting for the league. Chances are that we all expect City to win this league, but when we look at the table as we speak, after 38 games, Liverpool are the champions with 84 points. And if we're gonna give them grades for that, it's gonna be an A to Liverpool. That's an A, definitely. A1, A plus, or whatever you wanna call it. That's an A, to be honest. Because coming into this season, I think I'll even call it an A plus. Because coming into this season, nobody expected them to win this league. I think you expect them to come third or fourth or something, because last season they did well. But nobody expected them to win this league. So Liverpool has to be an A plus student, and I think they deserved it, to be honest. And they just scored a lot of goals, man. The goals they scored is just incredible. It is 6 goals for Column, and they just smash goals in left, right, and centre. So Liverpool A plus. Then we're going to go to the second team on the table. Arsenal finishing second again, coming into this season. Expected them to push City a lot more this season. They 10 points behind City, which is behind Liverpool, which is not acceptable at all. I know seasons are seasons are different, but if you expect a team to push on and actually capitalize on Manchester City not doing the job, I think Arsenal, I think they dropped the ball, to be honest. They needed to go and buy a striker. Everybody plus the people on planet Jupiter, everybody in the what do you call it, in the outer space, they all know that Arsenal need a striker. That's the only thing I think they needed for this campaign just gone. They needed a big striker, number 9, like an Ivan Toney or somebody of that in that category, for them to be able to push on. They didn't do that. They left it. For me, they were how am I going to put it? They were going after players they don't really need, and I think that just sums them up a little bit for me. They needed to go and push the boat out and get that striker over the line, but they didn't do that. I think that's where the problem is for Arsenal. So in terms of the report card grades for Arsenal, it's gonna have to be maybe a B minus or B minus, man. I'll say B minus. I wouldn't want to give them a C, because I say a B minus would be appropriate. If I'm gonna put it lightly. If I really want to be harsh, I'll give them a C, to be honest, because there's a lot of expectations on them. 3 seasons in a row. But I'll give them a B minus because I'm nice like that. I'm not going to be a bitter Arsenal Tottenham fan, so I'll give them a B minus. I think we expected a lot from them, and you know, give them a B minus. And third team on the table is Manchester City. They are like an A student, you know. Arsenal are like a student that you expect to get A, but City are like an A student. You know, this guy is a bookworm. He spends most of the time in the library. You see his bag. He's got like, I'm gonna put it. He's got the biggest bag in school. You go to his lockers. The bags falling out from his lockers, man. There's books, encyclopedia, you know, everything falling out from his back. This is the kind of student in Man City. This is the kind of student that, you know, spends most of the time in the library. He's the one that sits in front. The teacher likes him, answers all the questions before he's even asked a single question. You know, this is the student that you expect an A from. And, you know, he let you down and he got a C. So, yeah, this is disappointing in terms of City. I know your team goes through a cycle, the cycle ends, but you still expect a standard from City, and nobody expected the cycle to end now. It was, and that's what happens with cycles. You know, you think your team. I think every team has a 3 year cycle. 3 year cycle. When you have a good team, in those 3 years, you have to try and win something. You know, if you don't, and sometimes it's even shorter than 3 years. You could be done in 2. So you gotta seize. How do they say that thing? You got to seize the something while the iron is hot or whatever. I don't know. English is not my first language. So yeah, I think City's got a C. I'll give City a C because they're like an A student. So City will get a C. This is the end of the year report card for all the clubs in the Premier League. FOOTY podcast, end of the season, and yeah, I'm giving out marks. Then we go to Chelsea. Chelsea is one of those students that, you know, his daddy's got lots of money. He can afford the books. He can buy all the books he needs. He can buy all the what do you call it? Pay for the school. What do you call it? Pay for seminars and all that kind of stuff. You can go on school trip. You know, you can pay for all the school trips and wherever they're going on school trips and all that kind of stuff. This is a student that his dad is loaded, man. You expect him not to lack in terms of money, in terms of what he needs to succeed. His mathematical set is pristine. He's got gold-plated mathematical sets. The rulers in his mathematical set is made from gold. His exercise books, they've got gold-plated sheets in them. This is a student that, you know, Chelsea, they're like a student whereby he never has to work. No part-time jobs or anything to to make ends meet. He lives in a, you know, he lives in an hostel in Chelsea with his Chelsea mates, and they all eat cheese and all that kind of expensive. What do you call that cheese? Alumi cheese. This guy has got all the money. He has nothing, you know, no working at McDonald's or anything like that. This guy, he could sleep all day and study all night because he's got no job to go to. You expect this guy to, after 3 seasons, you expect them to do more. But they finished 4th in the league. So for me, Chelsea is a student you're expecting like a B plus from. Although they got the Champions League, you know, for me that's not Chelsea's. That should not be Chelsea's standard. This is after spending 1 billion, 3 managers or 4 managers. They needed a striker, just like Arsenal. They failed to go and get a striker. For me, Chelsea, for me now, they're gonna get a D. A D, man. I'm not even gonna give them a C. They're gonna be a D. This is just above average, not even just above average, basically. I don't know how they do the grades, but whatever. But it is not good at all. We're looking at the Premier League, and we're looking at everything as a whole this season, not just the Premier League, where you finish and what you do in the cups as well. So everything counts. So yeah, Chelsea got D for me. Although they finished Champions League place, but we expected a lot more. Newcastle finishing in fifth. Carabao Cup, Champions League. You know, I think Newcastle they've done well. They've done well. Looking at what they've tried to achieve. They achieved the Champions League last season, this season as well. Was it the season before? But now they got a Carabao Cup to show for you, and that's what fans remember. And I think Newcastle, I'm gonna give Newcastle a B. Yeah, B. It's that student where we know the student is trying, comes from nowhere, he works hard, works in McDonald's, 5 jobs, wakes up in the middle of the night to read, works hard, read every time he's reading books. You see him on the bus, he's writing stuff in his on the back of his shopping Tesco bag, so he can't forget what he's been reading all day. He's making notes. There's sticky notes everywhere. If you go to his hostel, there's sticky notes everywhere on the wall, doing different calculations, doing different formulas and all that kind of stuff. This guy is working hard and he's studying hard. So you can see the results. When he gets his results, he's worked hard for it. So Newcastle gets a B. Aston Villa gets the 6th position in the league, Europa League. This is a student that you spend a lot of money on. You bought, you spend a lot of money in terms of kind of players they bought. Their bench is really, really good. They're like Newcastle in a way, but they've come from nowhere to be in this Champions League race kind of thing. They made Champions League last season, got to the quarterfinals. Cups, they didn't really go far. They lost in the semi-final to Palace. Big defeat to Palace. This is a student that you spend a lot of money on, you expect a lot more, and they get just about got the Europa League in 6th. Champions League, they blew the Champions League on the last day, really losing to Manchester United. So yeah, on that basis, I'm gonna give them a grade of C, Villa, because you expect a lot from them as well. Champions League is the minimum for me. All those, they spend a lot of money. Good transfer winter window as well. Expect a lot from Villa. Forest, on the other hand, this is a student that you don't expect anything from. Works hard, does McDonald's, Tesco jobs, all those menial jobs just to make ends meet. Still really struggling to read in terms of concentrating class and all that kind of stuff. But earlier on in the school season, was getting good grades. Was doing well in the test and all the labs and all that kind of stuff. And he was surprised about this student because he's been doing McDonald's, working part-time jobs, working at Tesco's and reading at the same time. You could see him struggling in class, sleeping, dozing off in class, but still coming up with the results, good results in class. So you expect him to, you're surprised about him getting to that level in terms of getting good results, but unfortunately he couldn't carry it on. But you're impressed with the dedication, you're impressed with with the fact that he really pushed himself. Nobody expected him to be getting those kind of good grades in class. But he gets an Europa League in the end. So yeah, I'm gonna give Forest. I'm gonna give them a B because I think they've done really well. Position in the league notwithstanding, I think they've done really, really well. Really pushed themselves. Gonna give Forest a B because I think they've done really well. B bordering on, yeah, I'll say B, man, B. Maybe B minus because they should have, they could have, should have. So going on Brighton, for me, Brighton, mid-table, don't expect much from them. They struggle hard, work hard, read hard, part-time job and all that kind of stuff, working at Pizza Hut and all that kind of stuff, still reading. you know what the kind of result you're gonna get. So Brighton, gonna give Brighton a C as well. Bournemouth as well. Same category with Brighton. They both go to the beach. They love going to the beach. I think that's the problem with both of them, Brighton and Bournemouth. Spending a lot of time on the beach, sunbathing and surfing and all that kind of stuff, you know. And you know what they're gonna get. You're gonna get from, they're gonna do well in some classes, some exams. But both teams they've shown that they've got good players. Like I mentioned, Carlos Baleba. Bournemouth have Kerkers. I expected Bournemouth to get into that top four mix. I think they fell away towards the end. Brighton as well. New manager, and I think I expected a lot from them. I expect a lot more from them next season. Both of those teams. So I'll give them both a B. No, I'll give them both a C. Brentford as well fall into that category as well. Brentford, they've been in the season Premier League for a while now. I think this is where you expect them to be. Student in class, works hard. Has other jobs to make ends meet. His grades are stable. Yes, you're not expecting a lot from them. You expect them to match what your expectations are for them. So yeah, I think I give Brentford a C as well. Fulham falls into that category as well. Give them a C. Fulham. Palace, on the other hand, Palace 12th position in the league, FA Cup. Hardworking students, pushed himself really really well, and then got an FA Cup to show for it while working in McDonald's and Tesco and Pizza Hut and studying late nights. So Palace, good student, solid, surprises you by adding an FA Cup to the success this season. So for that, I'll give Palace a B for that. I think they've pushed above their limit there. And it's always good to push when somebody pushes above the boundary that you expected them to. You gotta have to appreciate that. Everton is a team that you think they're gonna be mid-table somehow. They push themselves. They were lower in the table than that. They pushed themselves really really high into 13th. Solid. That's what you expect from them. The bounce from the manager was good. Yeah, I'm gonna give Everton a C. You want to see them do more though, because they've been around the bottom for so long. You want to see them do more. I'll give them a C. West Ham, new manager. Can't see any changes there. No bounce, no nothing. I think I'll give West Ham a C as well. You expected the manager to have a little bit of a bounce, but I'll give them a C. Manchester United. Definitely Manchester United, they've been bad last season, they're bad this season. They finished 15. They should be doing more. Quality players. Manager comes in, no bounce. I think they said they won 6 games in since October or some crazy stats like that. I'm gonna give Manchester United a D. Or even an F, to be honest. I think it's bordering on an F. The season has been bad for United. No cups, nothing to show for this season. Just, playing games. This is a student that he's got the brain. He's got the brain. You expect him, in the past he's got the brain, but he's doesn't have to work in terms of work and study. He's got time to study. His father is rich. Just goes out, parties. No time to study. Sleeps in class. He's very, he never takes his studies serious. You find him what do you call it? Extra. You book extra lessons, doesn't turn up, or maybe it turns up. He's sleeping in class. He's the kind of student. Manchester United is an F for me. It's been a poor season. Wolves as well. Gotta give Wolves a D or C or D. The manager comes in, they survive relegation. How many times are they going to survive relegation? You can't keep failing or just about passing. Eventually, you're going to get caught in that trap door. You need to do better. 16. Then we go to Tottenham. That's my team. Tottenham. This student that you know definitely. It's been a tough season. He's been sick during the season, like some of the other students. He's gone through a tough time. You expect him to at least get a C or B or something. He was heading for an F really heading for an F because the season has just been really, really bad. We're going to do something special out of Tottenham. It's going to be Tottenham the way forward. Top 5 players for Tottenham to sign. We're going to do that one. Check that one out. That's going to be dropping sometime this week. But for this one, it is a student heading for an F9, definitely. Just everything is not working for him. And his dad is very stingy. When they ask for books or something in school, his dad will tell him, can you not get a book from one of your friends and make a photocopy instead of buying your own textbook or something like that. So that's the situation that Tottenham has been in. They were heading for an F, definitely, but they pulled the rabbit out of the bag and they just about got a C or B. No, I'm going to say they got a B because Tottenham have been looking for this cup for so long, 40 years or 17 years, whatever you want to call it. This trophy is big, is huge, and I think Tottenham pulled it off. Yeah, so I'm going to say they got a B. Just a B. They got a B. So that's the report card. The last 3 teams in the season on the table: Leicester City, Ipswich, Sunderland. They've all got Fs. I don't think they expect to go F anyway. These are students that it's not like they're not clever, but their level is just different from the class they are in, and it's just a different level of education, just a different level of class. Basically, they needed to be in the lower class, but they did well in the last class. They got pushed into the class above, but they just couldn't cope with the intense lectures, the intense studying, and they just couldn't cope, and sometimes it happens. So hopefully they learn from this experience and they can come back as good students for the next time. So that's the end of the year report for all the teams in the Premier League. I hope you enjoyed that little section of the podcast. This is the Footy Man podcast. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, share. Right about now, what time is it now? I think we've been going about 45 minutes now. I don't even know. So now let's just go on to the last thing on the agenda. Looking at the end of the season, Tottenham winning the Europa League. I think just want to say, as a Tottenham fan, it was really emotional. Really, really proud of the boys. There's a debate going on about Ange in or out. For me, is all the way in. I think the team did a really good job. The manager had to prioritize. This is what we wanted. We could have finished. I think if we were struggling in the league and it was looking that we were going to be relegated, the manager would have made adjustments and played more of a strong team for the cup, for the league, and I don't think maybe that would have affected us winning the Europa League. So I don't think non-Tottenham fans will understand. There's no point arguing with fans that are not Tottenham fans. But Tottenham fans, I think you should understand the situation we are in. This is a season I've never experienced this season before. This is a one-off season, and just one of those whereby it's just nothing we couldn't do. Injuries. I know every team has injuries, but the number of injuries that Tottenham had in the same area where you have your first 11 or your back 4, back 5 missing at the same time. I think there was always going to be a blowback from that, and hopefully the manager's learned his lesson as well. I think Ange he knows the players that he needs for next season. He needs to just go on and just get players he wants. The chairman, the board, they need to help him out. But we're going to be going around in circles. And I think this season we see, we see during on Wednesday, see people crying. You see people with memories that they will never forget. Tottenham have been bantered. They've been made fun of. We seems to be the brunt of jokes from every team that I know. Some of the teams that I know. And now look at who is laughing now. You can't make fun of Tottenham anymore. We we are looking forward to next season. Champions League football. I think the chairman has what he wants. What he likes is the Champions League Champions League table. So he's got his money in the Champions League, and the what do you call it? The fans, they've got the cup they want. So everybody's happy. So next season we move on. Hopefully more to come in the new season. This is just a taster from Angie. Said season 3 is better than season 2. Hopefully that comes to pass. And I think we build on this squad. We need a couple of players. I'm going to do a separate one on that one. 5 players I think Tottenham should sign for next season for Tottenham to push on. We'll do that one. That one will be dropping sometime this week. The football is finished. I'm so sad. Nothing to be done on Saturday. Saturdays when you plan your day. You wake up in the morning. You go. You do your shopping. You're looking at the time because you're waiting for that 3 o'clock kickoff. Sunday is the same as well. You're gonna miss all that, and looking forward to the new season. And we're thankful that we're here to see this season. We're thankful that we're here to see. As a Tottenham fan, I'm thankful that I'm here to see Tottenham win a cup. I think this is my 3rd one, I think. And for those some people that they've passed on, I think they'll be looking down on this season as Tottenham fans, and they'll be smiling and thinking, yeah, we finally did it. So yeah, really happy. And yeah, we move on in the summer. I'm gonna get myself a top as well. So, I think I'll get the green one. So yeah, that one should look really nice in the summer. Just walking around with my shades and walking tall as a Tottenham fan. So yeah, really happy. I'm looking to get a ticket for the Super Cup. I couldn't. I'm not sure if they're selling tickets here. If anyone knows where they're selling tickets, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching. Anytime you're watching this, thank you very much. This is the Footy podcast, and this is the end of the season report. And yeah, it is very good. It's a pleasure, and looking forward to the new season. And we're going to be doing more episodes of this as well, series of this. This is season 2 or season 3 of the Footy podcast, and this is the first one of the season. So needs to get more of it out. And yeah, I think we need to put it on what do you call it, Apple Store somewhere as well. I don't know, but we'll try and put it there. But you can always just subscribe to the channel. That will be the best way to watch it and listen to it. And thank you very much, everyone. Really appreciate everybody this season. You watch the watch-alongs, even if you watch it for 2 seconds, 3 minutes, it all counts. And thank you. I really appreciate it. Every single person. I really appreciate you 200%. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of the bank holiday, and then I'll see you very soon. Watch out for what's it called? The last edition of the football show, which is going to be looking back on the last games of the Premier League. That should be dropping very soon as well. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. God bless.